Uh, I would like to share our thoughts about Erdemir fourth quarter performance and outlook for 2025. First of all, fourth quarter was a weak quarter in terms of margins and the operating performance. Global HRC flat steel prices remained under pressure, and Turkey HRC prices followed the trends in the global markets. And of course, the pressure on the prices reflected to the profitability. And the company recorded $37 per ton EBITDA in fourth quarter, which was a little bit lower than our estimate of $39 per ton. But this number is a very big number when you consider the historical numbers or the quarterly EBITDA per ton figures. When you look back to the history, you will see that the global steel industry was in the crisis back in 2008, 2009, and that was the year we had seen negative EBITDA per tons. And of course, back in 2015, we also had a difficult year in steel sectors globally, mainly due to supply demand imbalances in China. And at that year, also the EBITDA per ton uh, for Erdemir was under pressure, but it was much more resilient compared to the global peers, especially in Europe. So when we look at 2024, we had a weak start, but it became weaker when we came to fourth quarter. So that's $37 per ton shows that all sector participants are under pressure. And we can also see that as reactions from the China and even in ArcelorMittal's presentation, we see that we see the indications that many steel producers were making loss even in China. And China just constitutes half of the steel consumption and production. So they are the key player, and whatever happens in China directly affects all the countries, including Turkey. And Turkey is the eighth largest steel producer globally, and it's the second largest in Europe. So it has a strong presence in this area. So when I get back to the performance of Erdemir in fourth quarter, I can say that the volumes were fine, 2.2 million tons and 8.1 million tons in full year. And the profitability is the issue. And as I mentioned, the company recorded $76 million net income, but around $155 million was related to earthquake insurance income, which is a one-off. So excluding that, the company recorded some losses, around maybe $80 million in this, very difficult environment. So going forward, what's ahead and what happened in 2024 fourth quarter give us some hint for the first half of the year. So overall, 2024, we ended up with 8.1 million tons and $86 per ton EBITDA, which is fine. It's not a very incredible level, but it's fine. You can survive with that. But the fourth quarter was much bigger than the year average. So the key thing is what's going to happen in 2025. And the company management expects a similar EBITDA level for full year, which means around $86 per ton. But look at the fourth quarter, which is around $37 per ton. So our argument or the cautiousness stems from that side. Fourth quarter was very weak, and first quarter will not be any different considering the global steel trends and the China futures in HRC. They're still at around $466 levels, for the May futures. So first half will remain under pressure, and the second half of the year could be brighter, depending on the external factors. China, again, supply and demand imbalances, a European factor, tariffs on all those factors. We are likely to see the initial signals for the second quarter, possibly in first quarter. First quarter, for sure, it's not going to be easy. And the company needs to take, the actions regarding the cost savings and, the financing issues. So we are not sure about whether they are going to pay dividends this year. But of course, it's the board decision. We are going to be following it, and any cash dividend decision will show that they need to look and that they need to see a better outlook. So that's that's going to be one of the things we are going to watch. But in normal cases, even if we see some improvement in the second half of the year, we should just assume that they're going to be conservative about not paying, dividends at this stage. So for 2025, first half will be weak in our thoughts, and especially the first quarter will be similar to fourth quarter. And second quarter, we are going to receive the signals, and second half of the year will give us some, the optimism, if it's possible, depending on the low inventory levels. But still, it's one of the, the really interesting and different years that we need to be cautious. Again, when we get back to the Erdemir's outlook, after fourth quarter and full year performance and investments performance, they are weathering the storm so far by managing the inventories and the working capital, a good working capital manage amid ongoing investments cycle. We are at the middle of an investment cycle, and over the last 2 years, including 2023 and 2024, they had invested around $2 billion. And the company has around $1.8 billion net debt position. And in the past, over the last 10 years, they always had some cash position. And that's why they were a good dividend player. And when you look at the company managed to distribute around $7 billion over the last 10 years as a dividend. So the history is bright, and now difficult times, and the investment cycle continues. In 2025, we are likely to see around $800 million of the capex. And of course, we are likely to see the benefits of investments realized in 2023 and 2024. So we are likely to see the improvement. But again, the key thing is the recovery in global steel prices. Unless we see some signal, we are going to remain cautious about the steel companies in general, and of course about Erdemir going forward. So they're challenging times, and we are at the critical stage of this challenging times. And we need to be, the management needs to be very cautious about the working capital management. And we believe that the company management is very well aware of it. So if I conclude, 2024 was difficult, but fourth quarter was extremely difficult for global steel players and for also Erdemir. And Erdemir was at the middle of the investment cycle. And still, we have some investments going on for Erdemir. But again, first half of the year doesn't look bright. So that keep us very cautious for 2025, at least for the first half of the year. Going forward, because of low inventories and possible pickup in global demand, we should become more optimistic, but at this stage, we are just following. We believe that the company's valuation reflects the positives, expectations. And I can say that, these positives, the market gives some credit to the company. But again, for us to be, more positive, we need the stock price to come down more, or higher prices in steel side. So these are the two areas that we need to focus. Otherwise, we are not in a rush to, buy into the stock. But of course, if you are looking from long-term perspective, like 5, 10 years, it's one of the key company in Turkish universe, equity universe, and steel sector is a key one, and Erdemir is one of the strongest player in Turkey, and of course, one of the most competitive in the region. But again, I would like to highlight the challenges ahead are weighting higher compared to potential, the upsides. And the last point I would like to touch is the related to some oil, the gold mining area. In July last year, the company announced that there are some investigation in studies on gold mining in its under its mining company. No details are given, or even the registered reserves are not announced. So it's like the hypothetical thing that we cannot justify anything about the valuation. But going forward, we will follow the news flow, and it should at least during this 2025, we should be hearing some positive or negative developments on that front regarding the reserves, the gold reserves. So that's another issue. It's not the part of the business, but it's like it's standing here as an upside thing. For now, we believe that even the market is reflecting, the price is reflecting some credit to that area. But for now, we are, following, and we are looking for some hints, some clear evidence of reserves on the gold side, which might change the structure of the company going forward, or the outlook of the company. But now we take it as the largest, steel player in Turkey, and we remain cautious in its main business amid ongoing investments. That's the basic investment thesis we have. We see limited upside right now, but again, any development in first half of the year will give us some hint about the outlook for the rest of the year, and of course, for the future. That's the summary of our thoughts about Erdemir regarding fourth quarter results and 2025 outlook. Uh, Thanks for listening. And if you have any questions, please let us know. We will get back to you as soon as possible. Thank you very much, and have a good week.